Joining us today is Lannissa Jack-Melton, who is Mvskoke Creek and a candidate for the mayoral office in Beggs. And we're talking with her today just to kind of get some insights for what it's like being Indigenous woman and running for a political office. And Lannissa is going to kind of fill us in on, what was a part of her decision to run for office and what she's experienced so far. So tell us about that a little bit, Lannissa. Like, what made you take on putting yourself out there for such a race, and tell us about that decision.
Okay. First of all, do you mind if I do an introduction?
Sure, go for it. Go ahead.
First of all, my name is Lannissa Jack-Melton. Of course, I reside in Beggs, Oklahoma. I'm married. I have 4 kids. I've been very active with the school. I'm trying to get involved with Mvskoke Creek political fields, and I stay involved with the city as well. I'm very educated. I have 4 degrees. I am very knowledgeable I'm good with leadership and communication skills. I used to be on the city council for Beggs, and I was also the president of the council a couple years ago. Okay. So I'm pretty well known around Beggs.
Yeah, so you have like some experience there with the city, entity and the different business that goes along with that. What's it like having the mom hat and then, doing all this work in the community? Can you tell us your experiences there?
Yes, I can. Well, actually, being a mom, of course, mom's always first, and you're a mom. Mamas do what mamas got to do. But being in big positions like I was, even on the council, you also learn how to manage your time. Mm-hmm. And so when it comes to the mayoral position, it will also be same way.
Yeah, definitely.
Time management and things like that.
Yeah. If we can wrangle those monsters at home, we can probably do a lot in the office too. I can fill you on there. So what's the field like for this office? Are there a lot of candidates? The incumbent, as I understand, is Catherine Bell.
Yes,
and she is also an Indigenous lady and is not running for another term. So can you kind of talk about the landscape that you're, campaigning in right now?
Yes, I am actually a candidate for running against 3 other men who is from the Beggs area. The guys have been here a couple have been here for a couple years, and several, or the other one I really don't know. Mm-hmm. But the reason I decided to run for office is because I've had several different individual citizens from the community who reached out to me, including Catherine Bell herself, mm-hmm. and said that she would endorse me because she thought I would be very good at the position.
Yeah. Okay.
And I'm an ethical and honest and educated person.
Yeah, wonderful. So what's it like to be running up in the boys crowd there, like this time around? I know there's a legacy there at Beggs that, women in leadership have, but you kind of are in the playing field with the guys right now. What's that like?
I am. And of course, I really can't speak on the guys' behalf, but I can speak on my part and say, you just do what you got to do.
Yeah. Okay. Have there been any big issues that you tackled when you were on the city council, just as a council person or president there?
We did. I think one of the big issues that we did was when the marijuana laws came into effect, when mm-hmm. that was able to sell marijuana legally. Mm-hmm. And that was a big ordeal. Mm-hmm. But then we passed it through the city because city and state we cannot stop anybody from doing things that's within state reign.
Right. So you were on the council when you had to match up and make those policies meet together. Okay.
Yes. And I was also vice president for the planning and zoning committee for Beggs.
Okay. So those are big, important issues that mm-hmm. would be related to city growth and things like that. So can you kind of speak about your perspective, as an Indigenous woman, because there's Beggs right in the heart of the Mvskoke Creek Reservation. And it's a pretty diverse community too, and so can you kind of talk about what advantages your culture and upbringing might bring to that role?
Well, and a lot of people around here know me and know that I'm very culturally and traditionally oriented. Mm-hmm. My first language was actually Mvskoke Creek, so I had to learn how to speak English or learn how to speak English to learn to communicate.
Mm-hmm.
But in order for me to, and it being right into the center of the Mvskoke Creek Nation boundaries, I think it would be a good precedent
Mm-hmm.
for someone such as myself who's been traditional, culturally oriented, and has a diverse background with people within our community.
Yeah. Okay. Is there any big issues that you want to tackle if you were to win the office? What's your platform, centered around right now?
I actually I really don't have a specific platform. I just would like to make the city progress and be more successful.
Mhm.
And we actually probably need more water lines and stuff, but we have to, or better water lines, but we have to do some grant writing.
Mm-hmm. So funding is going to be some area of concentration for you
Yes.
in the future. Okay. Can you talk a little bit about the timeline for election and where you've already filed for office, obviously. Where are you at right now? Like what do voters need to know? Anybody out there who might be, watching from that voter perspective, what are the important dates for them?
The important date is April the 6th, 2021, which is next month,
Mhm.
not very far away. And if they have any questions, they're more than welcome to call me or contact me. They can reach out to me at Lannissa Jack-Melton on Facebook, or Lannissa Melton at yahoo.com, or I have a home number, a cell phone number.
And do you have any kind of final thoughts that you'd like to kind of leave the constituents and the community with, or any information or reminders?
Well, the final thought for me would be to pick the best candidate for the position, not because of your friends, your family, or anything like that. But for being political, vote for the right person. Even if you don't vote for me, vote for who's best.
Okay.
Me being a single woman, or a woman and educated, knowledgeable background, you being ethical and honest, you want someone like that in the position. At least I would.
Mhm.
So I would appreciate it if I can get votes and would kind of help me win the mayor or candidate position.
Mhm. Well, I appreciate you taking the time, Lannissa, to kind of give us, maybe a little bit of encouragement for any of the Muskogee young ladies out there because I know this has been kind of a topic that, we're seeing Indigenous women in leadership roles more and more, and even in some of the bigger races, um, on the national platform, we have Indigenous women doing incredible things, and even with the possibility of Miss Highland and being on such an important role that she's taken on. What would you say to girls coming up today? Like, I feel like there's plenty of opportunity, but give them your insights or your advice.
Okay, and then this is also the teacher in me. I always say there's no limits. Remember where you come from, but always remember where you want to go in life. There is never no limits, and no obstacles should stop you.
Awesome. All right. Well, thank you so much. I appreciate you taking the time to kind of sit with us and share your experience. And we hope that we can share it around, and plenty of Muskogee people are seeing what you're up to and are super proud of you. I know I am.